Sean, a lot of people think that these two teams, are going to throw the ball 100 times a piece, but then you got Storm back. Are you looking forward to maybe just trying to establish a run a little bit and not just throwing it?
I think obviously that's something that's kind of been a focus over the past few weeks. Great to have Storm back. I think him and Toronto are both going to make a lot of big contributions. I think they both work well together, and I think it's just going to be a game where we're going to kind of have to see how things are looking, depending on what the game is. Obviously, if they're giving us a chance to run, something we'd like to do and kind of move more towards that balance. But I think depending on what they're trying to do against us, we'll adjust accordingly.
You think your arm has 100 throws in it?
I think so. I better knock on wood, but no, I mean whatever my coach has asked me to do, I'll do.
You talked about having Storm back, that 1-2 punch. What dimension were you missing without Storm? I mean, not to take anything away from Toronto, Chris.
Yeah, not to take anything away from those guys. I think it just when you have another quality back, it's always going to help. I think kind of the nature of running back is those guys take a lot of hits. I think whenever you can have a fresh body in there at running back, I think it's going to help us a lot. And obviously, between Storm, Toronto, and Chris, I think we got 3 good ones, and I think all of them bring kind of something a little different to the table. But I think to have 3 very, very balanced players at that position is a great asset.
Washington State, a much improved team, second year under Mike Leach, so you would expect that. What do they do well on defense?
I think Washington State obviously gets a lot of attention for their offense, as well they should. They're a great team, great passing attack, but I think their defense is really underrated. I think they got a strong defensive unit. I know they got a couple really good playmakers in the secondary. I think their front's going to be a challenge for O-line. I know they do a lot of stuff up front, so I think they're going to throw some different stuff at us than we've seen thus far, but nothing too crazy. So I think as long as we keep studying up and execute well, we'll be fine.
You talked about that line. Gets Grant back, and last year Grant maybe flew under the radar because Isaac's star freshman year, but really one of the more solid guys. Having him back, I mean, how huge is that for you?
Well, that's outstanding. I think even off the field, everyone respects Grant a great deal. Real hard worker. A guy a lot of the guys on the team look up to. So I think just playing aside, it's great to have him back. Everyone's happy about that. But in addition to that, he's an outstanding lineman as well. I think kind of good to get everyone back healthy. I think I don't know if we've had anyone miss practice this week. I better knock on wood again. But I think it's good to kind of have a full, fresh unit. A lot of guys that can contribute.
And Sean,
you covered it, Steven.
I missed you didn't. The team sitting out after winning 4 games in a row. Any worry at all about losing a little bit of momentum, or do you take the positives that you gained from the time off?
Yeah, I don't think there's really any negatives to that. I think if it's the kind of thing where guys are slacking off all week, then it's a problem. But I know our team didn't do that. I know our coaches did a great job keeping us focused. I think we used it in a good way to get a good head start on Washington State. I don't think that's a problem at all.
I can't remember, but have you played in the Palouse?
I've not been to Martin Stadium.
Okay, I was there years ago. It's crazy there. I mean, it's not very big, but the weather can be a factor. I mean, are you excited about playing there?
Yeah, I think it's a cool thing. All the different places you get to go. I come to think of it, I've been there, not for a game.
Right.
When I was being recruited, I got to kind of see it a little bit. And my impression of it was it's not the biggest stadium, but it's probably a place that they'll fill up and it'll get pretty rowdy. So preparing for silent count, all that stuff.
Are you preparing to maybe run a little bit more with not only the offensive backfield and the line, maybe bounce a little bit more, or whatever it takes, I guess?
Yeah, no, I think it's whatever it takes. I think certainly to have kind of everyone getting back fresh and healthy, I think will help us there. But at the same time, whatever kind of the game kind of tells us to do, we're going to adjust for that. But something we'd like to do if possible, but we're not going to drive ourselves crazy about having a perfect balance either.
So if you got to throw 56 times, you'll do it?
If that's what they're asking me to do, then yes.